every day, right? Every damn day, I feel like we're straying further and further away from happiness. Look, I came across this video on TikTok and I decided to talk about it because why the hell not? And it's kind of in my hometown. It's in Atlanta. It says dating in Atlanta. That's one of the hashtags I kind of look up from time to time. So we're not gonna waste any time. We're gonna jump right into this. I'm gonna give you my thoughts. Hopefully, I can hold off, like cutting her off and let her get all her thoughts out. I don't think so, but let's jump right in.
Okay, so tell me if I'm wrong. I'm not trying to make this video because I want to bash a man or anything of that nature. I want to make this video because I want a man to understand that you have to come politically correct when you're coming at a woman that has her things together. So many men I've had 3 different guys reach out to me today. Oh, you're not working today? Oh, what are you doing today? It's always, what you doing, what you doing, what you doing. It's never, hey, can you plan an off day so that we can go and do this or have this planned? I'm literally getting ready. Let me start over. I took today off. I took today off to go to a hair appointment. And because I have midterms tomorrow. So I need to have some time to myself to study. And I want to go get my hair done later on so that, I'm feeling good about myself. I'm looking cute, I'm waist training. I'm over here just, I'm in my mode. You know what I mean? Like, it's my reset day, okay? And I've had 3 different men reach out to me today and ask me to pull up on them. Pull up on you. Pull up on you, but you haven't planned anything. You didn't say, hey, why don't you take a day off and let's plan something so that we can spend some time together, or let's plan a nice little date. I'm telling him, like one guy, I'm like, I'm going to get my hair done. He like, oh, you busy today? Da-da-da-da. Not, oh, how much is your hair? Oh, is there any way I can contribute today? I know you work really hard.
Truth be told, besides the obvious red flags, and I'll go over that in a second, what she's saying wasn't really that off. Honestly, like, I gotta give it to her. It wasn't that off. And obviously the body looking right, she has a waist trainer on. I don't really know what that's for. Cause I see people wear that like out in the open, just like on a day-to-day basis. So I don't really know, like, it's supposed to like shape you or something like that. I don't fucking know. I didn't disagree with half of what she was saying. You know what I'm saying? I didn't fully disagree with it because I see where she's coming from. She's essentially saying, if you want me, apply that pressure, which is fair. Now, when I say the red flags, it's like, okay, maybe because I'm a cheap bastard. I don't know. Maybe because I'm not part of that life. Whatever that is. I can look at certain women and go, okay, you look like you might be a headache. And you look like you might cost a lot. Now, what do I mean by that? You look like the type where it's like, if I want to do something chill or, I don't know, go somewhere cheap or not spend a lot of money, you're going to look at me sideways. I could be 100% wrong. I'm willing to be wrong. But perception's reality, and how we show ourselves to the world is how we're treated. We may not like it, but that's the reality of it. That's just how that is. You look expensive. You look like a bill. I don't want more bills. You know what I'm saying? I don't want more bills. You look fine as hell. You do. I don't want bills. And then not only that, when I talk about the red flags, the tattoos. And look, I understand tattoos is more commonplace. I have tattoos, but it's like, there are tattoos in certain places that are just red flags that just scream no for me. And I don't want that. I don't want to deal with that. I don't know if every single last man think like this. I know I do, and a few men that I've talked to have, and we pretty much simpatico when it comes to how we think. When we see you portray yourself in a certain way, yes, some of us think, oh yeah, that could be wifey. Then others of us, and I fit in this category, kind of look at you as a fun time. That's about it. We kind of go, you know what? I'm gonna slot you right here because you might be a headache, and I'm gonna keep you on rotation. I'm gonna keep you in the back. Not to say that that's anything about her. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that sometimes you portray a certain thing about yourself, and then we just mentally go, okay, you know what? If I was to deal with you, you go over here. Yeah, the tattoos and everything, especially neck tattoos, that just screams no for me personally. It does. Yeah. Also, it's not a red flag per se. I saw car seats in back. Yeah, back there. So you're a single mother. And the way she speaks as well, she seems to be very much like me. And, I got all this motion, so you got to get out my way. Not really looking for that, personally. So those are the red flags that I saw, and I've been yapping for a while. So let's get to the most important part. Why is it every single time it comes to us men talking to y'all women, it comes down to what can you give me? What can you pay for me? When can you give me money? Y'all do know we hear that, and that's not like a turn on, right? Like we don't, like I'm not rock solid for that shit. Like I don't hear that and think, oh yeah, I like that. Fuck no, I don't. Like I'm trying to limit on cursing. Sorry. I hear that and I get like instantly annoyed. I'm just like, oh, like it's like an ick for me. Like it just makes me feel like I don't even want to talk to you because you sound like a bill, and I don't want more bills. You know. Yeah, okay, cool. Those men are not approaching you the way that you want, sure. But then you jump straight to, oh, how can I contribute? Contribute, motherfucker. You're a whole human being. You got motion, I'm guessing. Why would I contribute to? Why would I do that? That's weird to me. That's like I'm telling a girl about my day, and she's like, "Oh, how can I contribute to you cooking or clean?" No, I'd be like, "That's weird." I've had women do that and offer that for me, and I still think it's weird because, like, no, I don't. Why would I do that? Like, we're not even dating, and you no. It just always comes down to that, and every time we hear it on replay, it's just like, it's so annoying. It really is. And then not only that, look, you'll get the time of day, because don't get me wrong, she's fine. If she came to me and said something like that, instantly I'm getting annoyed. But then I might be more inclined to do it, because I'm like, you know what? There's a chance I might hit, though. I'm trying to get rid of those toxic thoughts. But that's just where my mind goes. I'm pretty sure a lot of other men's minds go there that way. And that's why they would encourage the whole, oh, I don't mind paying for that's easy for me. I don't care if it's easy for me. I don't want to pay that. I don't like bills.
You know, it was none of that. It's never like anything that makes any sense to me. My bills are over 10 grand a month. I work very hard every single day. I put.
Why? Why is it over 10 grand a month? What the? I'm not sure if it's the way she said it, but she said it like it was a brag. That's not a brag. That sounds painful. That sounds annoying. I make decent money. I'm not paying 10 grand in bills. In bills? That would mean that you would have to make. That's $120,000, right? In bills, apparently. And not only that, I'm under no illusion that when people say bills, they also mean debt. They count their debts and the minimum monthly payments as bills, and it's not bills. That's just your debt that you have. But that's how people count that. That would mean that you have to make what, $250, $244 for that to even make sense for you to have $10,000 in bills. In bills, my nigga. But you see what I'm saying, right? Like, you telling me that isn't making me go, oh yeah, she got motion. She moved. It makes me go, oh hell no. Like 10 in bills? Why? Why is it so much? Like I hear that. I'm not thinking that's a good thing. I'm thinking that's terrible. You're terrible at money. Let's just say she makes a whole lot of money. Okay, cool. Reduce your bills to as much as possible so you're not paying $10,000. If I was making six figures, I would never pay $10,000. I don't know. Maybe I'm broke. Maybe that's what it is. I'm broke.
110% in. I am a single mother with 2 children. Single mother by choice, by the way. By choice, with 2 children.
What is this new thing by choice? Like, what does that mean? So, like, you had your children and decided to leave the man because you want to be just too... What? That doesn't make any sense. I would imagine it is by choice. It's... Oh, okay, I get it. She's trying to set up the scenario that it wasn't him that left me, I left him. Which shows that you didn't want to be with him anymore because of some flaw, or you feel like you can up. I don't know. That's just a weird thing to say. Like, why? I mean, I guess that makes no. That doesn't make sense for $10,000 in bills every month. That shit makes me itch.
You know, I pay my own college tuition out of pocket. I'm in nursing school. I run a business. I just don't. I'm trying to figure. I want you guys to help.
That doesn't make any sense. If she runs a business, right, and she has $10,000 in bills, $120,000, right? So that would mean that she would at the very least make double that. So $240,000, which would be $20,000, or let's just put it at $25,000 a month. Why are you going to get a nursing degree or going for nursing? And then you have your own business. Let's just say her business is liquid to that extent. Why would you go for your nursing? I mean, unless you just like nursing, you just want to do that. But if you have your own business, which means you're like, just like what you said, 110%, why would you waste time? It's not wasting time, but think about what it means to run a business and to be liquid that amount to where you have $10,000 in bills, right? You have to be liquid a lot. You have to be like turning a huge ass profit. Why would you divert from that by going to be a nurse where the hours and the time and everything like that is demanded? That's just for the schooling, right? I have a few homegirls right now that are doing schooling for nursing school. That's a full-time job at that point. And then you're going to go forward to... That doesn't really make any sense to me. I could be off. I could be wrong. But and the amount of money that you're going to get from nursing isn't going to touch $10,000 at all. So...
help me understand. Because I'm not getting it. And I'm not understanding. And my time is very, very valuable. I'm in nursing school. I have to study for 2 to 3 hours a day alongside of going to work and running my business that I've had almost 9 years next month. So help me to understand what's going through y'all's brains. Because when you come for a woman like me, you have to come politically correct.
She's almost done with this. I shouldn't have paused it right here, but too bad. I'm not trying to be mean when I say this. People need to stop using words incorrectly because they have some education in their background. Politically correct is another way of saying that you're trying your hardest to not offend people that come from marginalized communities. I don't have the definition up there. That's like my rough estimation of what it is. So when you say politically correct, you're basically trying to say that, hey, look, these people should address you in a way because of your diminished or less than status, you know, being a black woman or whatever. That's what she's alluding to when she says politically correct, unless she means another word, because that's what politically correct means in this case. That's essentially what she's saying. So I don't think that's the word that she means. I think she means something else. I think she just means to say, come at me correct, or, you know, have some stature about yourself. I don't know why she keeps saying politically correct, because she said it in the beginning and I caught on to it, I was confused, and then she's saying it again, and no, stop saying that. That's not what that means. You know what? Let's answer her question. What are we thinking? Off rip, if you really want to know, we look at you and we see a fun time. I don't look at you and think this is someone I want to be with and spend the rest of my life with. And then when you speak, I get that impression even more. Because you sound like a Bill and you sound like kind of a headache. You might be a wonderful person. I could be 100% wrong. Sometimes people portray themselves a little bit differently depending on the medium that they're on, i.e. social media and in person. That could be the case. But off rip, when I see you and when I hear you speak, and then seemingly how you carry yourself, you seem kind of superficial. You seem like someone that would be a Bill for me, and that you have this mindset of, I got motion, get out my way. And that's not really what I'm looking for in a partner. And that's what most men are not looking for in a partner. Now, a lot of men are going to speak to you because why? You got a banging body. Your ass is fat. Titties is big. Then them tattoos show that you might be a really fun time. You bounce on the shit. Excuse the language. But that's the impression I get from you. So if I'm talking to you, I'm not gonna come at you in no type of way of like, I want something serious. I'm just gonna come at you in a type of way like, yo, what you doing right now? You know what I'm saying? And even by the way she described how men come at her, it's from that same level of, if I was trying to holler at a chick and I'm not trying to have nothing serious, that's how I would do it. You know, the reason why men aren't planning anything with you is because they don't see the point. Because in their eyes, not saying it's true, you're just a fun time. And then add in the fact that you're a single mother by choice and you have 2 boys, I'm not trying to deal with all that. My personal opinion, and the opinion I think of the men that are approaching you, because we relatively think the same, but that's why. And I know if she was to hear something like this coming from someone like me, she would probably be like, this nigga's a hater. Maybe, who knows? I don't really hate people, but talk massive shit about a lot of people, so maybe that's what it is. But yeah, that's what they're thinking, and that's why they approach you in that way. That's why I've met many different women that don't portray what you portray, or kind of the opposite, right? And they don't get approached in that way at all, because that's not what they attract. You attract a certain element based off of how you carry yourself, how you look, and your background. And yeah, that's why. So that answers that question.
I'm tired of it, and I'm so annoyed. I'm about to date outside of my race. That's what I'm about to do.
You should. I see nothing wrong with that. I mean, something I was always told growing up, I follow to this day. It's not about who you like, it's about who likes you. You know, I don't know why black people, especially black women, use that as like a thing to be like, I'm about to start dating outside my race. Well, go ahead and do it. I mean, one thing I will tell you though, talking to a lot of white people, especially white men, about dating black women, a lot of them will be apprehensive about you. Because when I've asked like white men why is it they don't date black women, and I tell them like, look, we could be real, we could be honest. This is what we're here for, to speak about these things. They say that there's a certain way that you guys portray yourselves that either wards them away from you, and or they just rather not deal with someone that's vastly that much different than them. So I do have empathy, and I do feel a little bit sorry, because I can imagine that you're living your life and you think you're doing all the things correctly, and then the only element that you're attracting are men like that. And I can imagine that can be pretty frustrating. Sorry. The only thing I can tell you to do is probably change how you come off, maybe, but you're 30, you're not going to do that. So, yeah. Sorry about that. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, you already know the drill. Leave a like. Comment down below. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me, am I off? Like, let me know, because I really want to know if I'm off. If I'm off, cool. Tell me how. And yeah, you know, let's talk in the comments. And subscribe if you want to see more. Peace.